In the sky! It's a hornet! It's a wasp! No, it's an alarm clock! No, it's the buzz. And it's a playoff edition. If your doctor prescribed heavy doses of Tom Behmer for you this week, you are in luck because it's all me. We have no Eddie on the spot. We have no coach's interview. We're just going to talk about playoff football. And when I think about playoffs, I think about Herm Edwards' emotional breakdown in a press conference, which, by the way, isn't one of my favorite Herm Edwards breakdowns. I'd have to say my favorite Herm Edwards breakdown, sorry for the pause, was this one. That's the best thing about sports. This is the best thing about sports. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. And there's going to be 34 area teams playing to win games starting Thursday when we have the classes C1 through Class D2 playoffs. Class A and 6-man begin on Friday. We're going to start in Class C1 where you have to consider the favorites to be Norfolk Catholic, Pierce, Adams Central, and Boone Central. I'm going to have to tell you though, I like Boone Central Newman Grove and I like them for a variety of reasons. The Cardinals have really hit their stride lately ever since switching from that wing T set to the I formation, which Arnie Johnson did to try and utilize the Cardinals' speed a little better. And when you have a quarterback like Tanner Mazur running the show, you're always in line to be in place for a win, if that makes any sense. Mazur can run, he can throw, and Boone Central has size and physicality on the offensive line that I don't think any Class C1 team can necessarily match up with. In Class C2, I like the Eagles in this class, and I like them because this season they've won every way possible. They've won close games, they've won blowouts, they've had to come from behind, they've had a little adversity here and there, and the Eagles have plenty of talent, they have plenty of depth in the backfield, and they, like Boone Central, have a strong physical offensive line, which when it comes down to the end of November and you're playing high school football when it can be windy and wet and cold, you like to be big and strong up front because you might not be able to rely on the passing game. If you're looking for a dark horse in this class, Atkinson Westholt is it. Josh Coyle in the backfield means the Huskies always have the potential to be in the ball game. He's still averaging over 200 yards a game despite rushing for just 17 yards in the loss to Crofton last week, a loss which probably refocused the Huskies heading into the playoffs. In Class D1, the favorites are obvious. In the West, Elgin, Public, Pope John. They're undefeated to this point. In the East, Howells Dodge, same thing. I have to like Howells Dodge in this class, not just because of the tradition, not just because Mike Spears is their head coach, but because of how they have basically buzzsawed through the schedule. Nathan Bujita on the line is the best lineman, regardless of class, in the state of Nebraska. If you've seen him play, you know that defenses really, if you run behind Bujita with Matthew Gooch, defenses don't have an answer for it. When he's lined up defensively, you're going to have to double and triple team him just to keep him from getting for your quarterback. A dark horse in this class, Creighton, with, I almost called them the Blue Jays. I must be looking ahead to Creighton basketball. With Jacob Morrill and Cole Thomas in the backfield, the Bulldogs have about as good of a 1-2 punch as anybody, and they played Elgin, Public, Pope John about as close as you can get. Actually, they outplayed them for most of their game. It was a 10-point loss earlier in the season. The Wolfpack pulled away late in the game, but Creighton knows that they're right there with Elgin, Public, Pope John, and I think most people assume that the Wolfpack is right there with Howells Dodge. So I think it's really a 3-team race in Class D1, and those are the 3 teams. Class D2, Wynot's an area team that could pull a first-round upset against Sterling. Wynot has a less than Sterling 4-4 record. Sterling is 6-2, but the Blue Devils have played in the toughest Class D2 district in the state. They played the likes of Wausau, Humphrey St. Francis. I could go on and on. Humphrey St. Francis, I think hands down is the favorite in this class. You could put Giltner up with them. Giltner has the ability to score a lot of points. They scored just 90 points in their win last week, but Humphrey St. Francis has the best defense in Class D2 football, and we all know that defenses win championships. If you're looking for a dark horse in this class, it could be Lindsay Holy Family. Sure, the Bulldogs have a 36-6 loss to St. Francis, but since then, they've been like Limp Bizkit singer Fred Durst, besides the backwards red New York Yankees hat. They've been rolling, rolling, rolling. Okay, that's an early 2000 reference, I'm sorry. The Bulldogs also have a lot of versatility. You can't just focus on one guy in the backfield. They have 4 running backs who have run over 400 yards. They take care of the ball also. Right now, Holy Family has an 18-4 turnover ratio, meaning they've caused 18 turnovers. They've only given up 4 turnovers. But as is the case with any sort of football game, it's not played on paper. It's played on the field. There will be upsets. There will be surprises. And the teams that I talked about maybe will be standing at the end of the year, but it's very possible that we will see a Cinderella emerge from the ball. Until next time when we talk about the possible Cinderellas that danced this week, I'm Tom Behmer for The Buzz.